Liverpool aren't just shopping for a striker, they're trying to sign a system. Under Arne Slot, the blueprint is simple: pace that scares teams, pressing that suffocates them, and a forward who can finish the move or start it himself. That's why Alexander Isak sits at the top of the list. He's the ideal fit, if Newcastle let him go. And that's the catch. As the window ticks down, the whispers get louder. If the Isak talks stall, Liverpool may pivot, fast, to Yoane Wissa, a ruthless runner with Premier League miles in his legs and a price tag that doesn't reach the stratosphere. Reports and live blogs say the standoff is real, the alternatives are ready. We'll separate what's confirmed from what's claimed, and why the next 7 to 10 days could reshape Anfield's front line for years. Slot wants a forward who moves like a 10 and finishes like a 9. Isak plays between the lines, glides past markers, and still attacks the box with striker instincts. He doesn't just score, he creates passing angles that unlock the wingers and attacking midfielders. That's the vision: rotations, overloads, and a constant threat in behind. The hold-up? Newcastle. Publicly, Eddie Howe has sounded uncertain about Isak's future, never a comforting soundbite for a fanbase clinging to its star, and pre-season hints haven't calmed the water. According to reporting, Isak's absence from a friendly and general uncertainty around his involvement have fueled the belief that he's pushing for an exit. He's even been tipped to miss the opener, another small sign that all is not well. These are reputable reports, but still, they're reports. Neither club has announced anything. The tension is real. The conclusion is not. Liverpool rarely throw cash without a clear plan. This summer, the plan looks carefully staged. First, a major outgoing: Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich, confirmed by multiple top outlets, strengthening Liverpool's ability to go big if the right forward is available. Then there are the rolling updates about Darwin Núñez. Live blogs and reports say a sale is close, freeing up even more funds. None of that guarantees a record-breaking bid, but it sets the table. Reports vary on the exact numbers. Some mention a rejected 9-figure offer and a higher internal valuation. But the thread is consistent: Newcastle won't be rushed, and they won't sell unless their ducks are in a row. As always, treat numbers in the rumor mill with caution. The confirmed fact is Diaz's sale, the rest is an evolving chessboard. Transition, and that's where the name Yoane Wissa keeps surfacing. Don't let the label "a plan B" fool you. Wissa offers something valuable: day one Premier League certainty. He can play left, right, or central. He attacks the half spaces with timing that breaks defensive shapes, and his pressing is aggressive without being reckless. For a Slot side that wants interchangeability in the final third, Wissa's toolkit ticks boxes. Reports suggest the fee could sit far below the Isak bracket, variously cited around the mid-30s to 50 million depending on the source, and that alone makes him easier to unlock late in the window. Again, treat figures and contact made claims as reported, not official club statements. But the smoke is persistent. Liverpool have at least been monitoring, and some outlets claim initial contacts. Transition, of course, transfers rarely move in straight lines, they cascade. Here's the plot twist being floated: if Newcastle can secure a forward, it could open the door to Isak's exit. Some reports even suggest Newcastle are themselves advancing on Wissa, a move that, if true, could change the geometry of everything. Imagine that: Wissa to Newcastle to replace some of Isak's output, and Isak to Liverpool to lead Slot's press-and-play system. Is it confirmed? No. It's a chain of ifs built on reports and live-blog updates. But it's the kind of late-window domino effect that English football specializes in. If even part of it is accurate, the next week becomes a high-speed negotiation sprint. Slot won't drop names, but he's been transparent about concepts, adaptability, depth, and balance. Liverpool's attack is designed to rotate without losing structure, to press without losing shape. That's exactly why Isak appeals. He can act as the central pivot and the glide-through creator, freeing the wide players to dart inside. And it's why Wissa intrigues. The role flexibility makes a manager's life easier over a 50-game season. In public, Slot has acknowledged concerns about depth while insisting he trusts the group. Manager speak that usually hides the reality that clubs are still working on deals. That's the tone of his recent answers, calm, pragmatic, with a quiet nod to, "We're not finished yet." Newcastle's reported valuation is steep, and the window clock is unforgiving. Push too early and you overpay. Push too late and you pivot into panic. For Liverpool, the danger is getting stuck between both. Not quite enough time to break the stalemate for Isak, not quite enough runway to close the alternative at the right price. Meanwhile, every public hint from Newcastle, every quote that leaves the door open while insisting on control, reminds everyone who holds the contract. That's standard leverage. And until a replacement is secured, they can simply say "and not yet." Reports of prior bids, agreements, or informal understandings make for spicy headlines, but the only words that matter are the ones filed on a signed document. Until then, treat it as the tug-of-war it is. This is where Liverpool's recruitment reputation matters. When they pivot, they move with intent. Reports suggest monitoring and even initial contacts around Wissa, and that speeds up once the green light flashes internally. On the pitch, the fit is easy to imagine, Wissa drifting left to combine with a creative 10, darting inside to attack cutbacks, or leading the press from the center when needed. You won't get every Isak attribute, no two forwards are clones, but you gain tactical flexibility, a lower fee, and a player who already knows the league's rhythms. In a campaign where depth could decide everything, that trade-off might actually be the smarter play if the Isak door doesn't open. Again, label it properly, this is what reports point to, not an official club position. Whether it's Isak or Wissa, Liverpool's attack is being redesigned to be less predictable and more interchangeable. It's not just about a headline arrival, it's about a front unit that can swap roles mid-attack without losing clarity. If Isak comes, expect a focal point who also drifts and creates. If Wissa arrives, expect a fluid front that stretches teams horizontally and vertically with relentless runs. Either way, the message is the same. Under Arne Slot, Liverpool want to control matches with the ball and without it, and they want a striker who turns control into goals. The next week will tell us which door opens. Until then, separate what's confirmed, Diaz out, pursuit ongoing, from what's circulating, fee figures, last-ditch bids, and the Wissa domino. The story is moving. The ending isn't written.